ever since Upland Road, whatever, that other place where you can check on properties and stuff, or Upland. There's this new thing I found. I'm pretty sure it's pretty old, but I haven't been on Upland since UPX Road kind of closed down. I'm up on every once in a while when I sell a property, but I'll buy a couple more properties. I'll buy some collections, but if I don't sell a property, I'm not really touching Upland. I noticed that there's this marketplace, Google Data Studios. I'm pretty sure there's a way to get information from it. I haven't looked into it yet. There's a delay to it, unless if people are buying these properties like that. When I check the properties, usually like 5 or 6 properties are already sold. I don't know if that's just because they're selling quick, but basically I'm been going through my collections, trying to find which property has the best UPX. Right now we're in San Francisco. Let's go down to, so here in Brooklyn, as you can see, Bushwick. I want to find the highest UPX so I can get the highest boost return of the 1.28. It ain't much, but it's still better, especially if you pick the higher ones. It could be a good amount of return. So you always want to try to choose the best ones. And so I have 2, 4, 6 right here, and I have 3 to choose. So you could go through this way and check and look, come here and find all those properties that you have in the city you're looking for, but you can't find it or it takes forever. You have so many properties, they're kind of spread out, so it's kind of hard to tell which ones you have. What I did is I made an Excel sheet that just sorts all the data on this properties tab right here. Properties. To get started, I'm going to have to scroll all the way down. I'm going to go all the way to the end until I can't go no more. I want to go all the way to the bottom. Once I'm to the bottom, go to the top, right click, and press inspect. So after you right click and press inspect, you want to go and find the div right here. You want to find the one that has all of them. There's going to be 2 that highlight both of these. You don't want to have it so it gets properties. You just want these 2. See, like there's this one right here, and then there's this one. It doesn't matter which one you choose. You just choose one of them. Copy it. Now you want to open up a notepad or a Word document or something where you could save a text file. And then you want to paste what you had copied into that. And from there, you want to go to Save As, and you want to save it as an HTML document. So what you want to do is go all the way up to all types. Usually it's either text file or all types, depending on what program you're using. And then just save it as whatever you want to call it. I just called it website.html. I could call it upland props.html, but you want to make sure it says .html at the end. So you could open it up in a web browser, and you want to open it up. So from here, you have all your properties, and you just want to press Control A. It highlights everything, so you want to copy it. You could press Control A to select it all, and then Control C to copy it. And we're going to open up our Excel document. So right here's our Excel document. We have 4 sheets right here, but really it's only looking at these 3 collections I don't have set up yet. Kind of harder than I thought. I thought it was going to be simple plug and play, but it's a little more difficult. But you want to go here to paste, the sheet called paste, and paste it on A1. Oh, it's wrapping around, that's why it looks like that. So right here you click wrap text, but it doesn't matter. So to activate hotkey, you press CTRL and L, and it'll tell you how many lines there are, and it's going to compute through. As it does its magic, it'll take you over to final, and then if you have information in here prior, it will delete it. As you can see, it has populated this worksheet with all the properties. It says 125 properties. If I scroll down to the bottom, we have 125 minus the 126 minus 1 because of the header. And if we go over to upland, you can see it says I have 125 properties right here. I have the address, the city it's located in, the price that I or you paid, the asking price. So asking price is if we're selling it. Earnings is the what we'll make off of it in a month. So the earnings in a month. On sale, if it's on sale, it'll say yes. If it isn't, it'll be blank. If there's a structure on it, it will say yes. Tell you what state. Sells currency, if you're selling it in fiat, it'll say fiat. If you're selling it in UPX, it'll say UPX. Asking in currency is the same. So if you're selling fiat, it would say here, and then if you're buying fiat, it would say here. Same thing with UPX, yada yada. Says I have one error under construction. We have one building under construction. It came up as an error. All the errors will populate down right here. So if you see errors, it'll kind of tell you what the cell was when it errored. Blank is just if it's a blank cell. Now, why I did this was because I want to, like I said earlier in the video, get to my collections. Alright, so Bushwick. So as I said, I had 6 properties in this collection that I could choose from. As you can see, it all just says Brooklyn. So it makes it a little difficult. It doesn't say Bushwick or anything like that. It doesn't indicate. I checked, like if we go here, go to title, like even through here, I've looked, it doesn't really tell you like, oh, this is part of the Bushwick property or anything like that. And even through the decipher keys on blocks.io, some of them give you the actual address, but the others, they're just any property in Soho, any property in Harlem, stuff like that. It comes up as Brooklyn, New York only, and not Bushwick, like the collection says. So it makes it a little difficult to put the collections. However, we have 6 properties, and we want to see which one has the best earnings for it. So we can go to the final. What I always like to do is just go insert pivot table and press OK. Have all this selected. Press Control A and it'll select everything. And what I want to do first is drag cities down to rows and drag earnings and then drag address. And what I do is right click where it says Bakerfield, expand collapse, and collapse entire field. So it collapse all this and I have all the cities. So now from here, what I usually like to do is expand this so I could see it a lot better, and then get rid of grand totals and turn off subtotals. Right now I'm looking at Brooklyn. So I have Brooklyn, right? Yeah, I don't like how this report is. That's a lot better. Tabular form. So what I say, 682. So what I'm just going to do is highlight. So that one, 291. So as you can see, the earnings, UPX earnings it goes 12, 13, 15, 18, and then 22, and then 28. So my 3 best ones to pick from this would be Cornell Street, Wilson Avenue, and Elder Street. So Elder Street, Cornell, Okay, not Hart. We want to get rid of Hart. And we want to find Wilson Avenue. Now we're getting more UPX for our buck. City Pro, I did the same thing basically. How I did it though was I went with, let's go to the final sheet. So what I did was I sorted it. So how you do that is press Control A, sort. I custom sorted it by earnings, largest to smallest. So I have my highest earning properties, and I have 1, 2, 3, and then outside this Piedmont right here. So I had 4. I have another Piedmont, 5, 6. So I have 5 right here, right? And I could also pick a couple small ones because this earnings is as big as any of these other ones. Like if I were to get 5 Kansases, it wouldn't even equal close to this first earnings. Smart thing I would look at and think about, like, oh, I'll go with this. I have 1.4 times, but I also take into consideration my other collections in the same area. Because say this same property, one of these properties was located in this area, say the 3000 was located in this one, I'd rather have it in this collection rather than have it in this 1.4 times boost. I could have it in a 1.79 times boost. So that's something else you also have to look out for. I mean, it's not a big difference, but it definitely helps. So let's show you what the difference is. So I have 3347.57 times 1.79. So that's an extra 2,600 UPX just for that. If instead we were working with 3347.57 times 1.4 with the City Pro, that's 4,000. So we're still looking at a whole another 1,300. So that's double, basically. When it comes time to minting, that's definitely an extra building. So things you gotta think about and look out for. There might be easier ways to do this. I might be over my head, but I haven't really found anything on websites like UPX World. So I'll be posting the code in the description. I don't know if it'll fit in there, so I'll try to get it in there. If not, maybe a link or something. I'll also put a link to the Excel download sheet so you can download it yourself. But if you're skeptical about downloading stuff, I'll post the code in the description or somewhere. You can set it up yourself. I don't mind. You know how to make a macro. It's easy. It's a macro. You just copy and paste. You want to add these 3 sheets and name exactly how it is. Capital P, paste, capital F, final, FINAL, and cities, SITIES. And you can get a list of cities from Google of the United States. You might have to do some work to split it. I don't remember, but I'll leave the link in the description for the cities. Or you can just Google it, and then the collections you don't need because I ain't finished with it. And it's a lot harder than I thought. But other than that, you all good. You don't need anything else. You just gotta paste and press your hotkey that you set aside.